Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in today's video I'll be discussing what I thought of the latest and super great episode of The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. It dropped its newest and second episode today on AMC Plus, and it'll be dropping later tonight on AMC. And it was wonderful. You know, we're 2 episodes in, and this is easily becoming my favorite spin-off of the franchise, with the exception of season 1 of Fear the Walking Dead, which remains to be the best and only good season that show ever did, which was its first season. But anyway, that's a topic for another time. This show is doing a phenomenal job so far, and I'm sure it will continue to do so as it goes along. Before I get into all the details, of course, please be warned, this is a spoiler-filled review, so if you're not caught up on The Ones Who Live by the second and most recent episode, which is this episode, you don't want to keep watching or listening, as I will be discussing spoilers, plot details, character stuff, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. You know, this episode felt like an emotional gut punch on so many levels. Not only did we have a proper reunion, because technically Rick and Michonne reunited at the end of the first episode, but that was a very brief reunion because it cut away, the ending was not cut short, but they cut away from them properly embracing and kissing and whatnot. We had a proper reunion in this episode. It made me tear up a bit because of how beautiful it was and how great it was to see these characters together after all these years apart. So that was gorgeous. But then, it just like The Walking Dead, in typical Walking Dead fashion, you just get an emotional sucker punch. You get something good, and then 5 seconds later, something bad happens. Because as soon as Nat said, "Mish, is that him? Is that the guy?" As soon as we saw Nat standing there in the clearing, I thought, he's going to die. He's going to get shot. He's going to die. And sure enough, that is exactly what happened. A surviving CRM soldier shoots him in the chest. And now he's gone. And it's just like that. You're just like, oh, you feel it in your heart, in your stomach. And we felt that earlier, too, with the loss of the nice couple who was expecting, the people that Michonne helped back in season 10 in her exit episode. It was so great they brought those 2 characters back specifically for this episode to show us that Michonne stuck with this caravan of survivors for a short while, even though they had this terrible rule of leaving people behind. If they fell behind, the caravan just kept on moving, which was just so awful and inhumane. But thankfully, those 2 owed Michonne their lives and left along with Nat when they realized, yeah, you know what? This caravan has a terrible, awful rule. Fuck this. Let's go off and splinter off and find our own way. And that's exactly what happened up until they were all gassed to death. You know, so that first we lost, I think her name was Aiden or Bailey. No, Aiden. Wait, was it Aiden? Yeah, we lost Aiden, the pregnant woman. Then her husband or boyfriend, whatever he was to her, you know, then he was lost as well. And Michonne put them both down mercifully. And Nat thankfully survived the poisonous gas that the CRM chopper dropped on them and everybody else. And Michonne obviously survived it as well. But then, of course, we lost Nat right towards the end of this episode. And it was just one emotional sucker punch after another. You know, first we had this group of characters who were who had splintered off from the caravan, trying to find their own way. All of them were agreed to help Michonne, and then the CRM comes along and just gasses them all for no reason. Well, the reason was probably because they were getting awfully close to Philadelphia, and they didn't want anybody to find out about Philadelphia, so that could have been it too. But, you know, it was just, they just exterminated them without warning or provocation. It just shows you how dark and evil the CRM truly is, at least when it comes to dealing with other people. And I like how Rick gave Michonne a heads up on how to present herself to the CRM and how they took her in rather than executing her on the spot. And of course, now she's become a consignee. But now that she and Rick are together, both of their confidence levels have gone way up, and they're ready to escape properly together this time. Unfortunately, there's a little hiccup, which is Anne/Jadis. Of course, Anne would make an appearance again in this show. We all knew she would. And it's no surprise at all that she immediately recognized Michonne, because she was probably there for her interview process, or at least watched her interview interrogation tape that was obviously being videotaped while she was meeting with the CRM officers. And Anne, of course, just outright threatened Rick if he and Michonne escape, Anne will make a point to kill everyone that they ever loved, which sounds like the CRM would destroy the Alexandria safe zone at least. Do they know about the Commonwealth? I don't think so, but I'm sure they would if they went to the Alexandria safe zone. So now, of course, Rick is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do he and Michonne stay at the CRM to avoid the death of everyone they've ever loved, or do they escape together and face the possible wrath of Anne and the CRM? We'll have to keep watching to find out. But wow, what an episode this was. It was exciting. It was emotional. Great characters that you just felt for and you fell in love with. And of course, your guts just get ripped out of you like a walker ripping into you when you saw them die. It was very sad, but it had all the components and the elements of what made a good Walking Dead episode. And this is the best The Walking Dead has been at in years. You know, I thought the final season was something else, but this has been excellent so far, and we're only 2 episodes in, and I am absolutely loving it. It might be my favorite spinoff besides the first season of Fear. So I hope you guys have been enjoying this episode. I hope you all enjoyed this episode as much as I did. What did you think of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings on it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend and Sunday. Don't forget, the new episodes of this show drop every Sunday on AMC Plus and AMC. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for watching, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.